Welcome to Retrained Search, the podcast, where we lift the lid on what it's really like to work retained, discuss the stories we've gathered along the way, and give you all a peek behind the scenes of our amazing community and how they're getting ahead. Hi, George.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good, actually. Really good. Shall I tell you why?
Tell me. Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. Because we had the best March ever. And already April, I'm feeling like all the magic and all the love and all the wins and all the everything is just suddenly like just beautiful. And it's beautiful outside as
I
well.
just, I just think January and February is shit anyway.
It's just fucking cold and
Like Christmas
rainy.
has been the only thing you look forward to in winter's been and gone. The weather's shit. The nights are dark. It goes dark early. It's cold. It's horrible.
And you can't be asked to do anything.
And then you get towards the end of March and you
I
start seeing a
know.
few blue skies and the
Oh, it's
clock's
beautiful.
changed and the tennis season fixtures get
Oh my
released
God. I
and
know we
and
shouldn't we shouldn't
and
talk about
everything
loads
in
of
the
tennis.
world is right again. We should
Everything in the
just
world
start
is
a tennis
right.
podcast.
We should start a tennis podcast. Well, we'll do a little bit of tennis talk. So I was just, I had a gap between calls, which again is really nice and rare. As you know, yours and my diaries always are so busy. I had a gap between calls. So I thought, walk the dog down to the river. And I quite often cut through the tennis club to get to the river because it's a bit
For
of a
those of you that
shortcut.
don't know, Louise's house. So I opened my back gate to the bins. Louise opens hers to the tennis courts. Now they're not her tennis
They're
courts.
not my tennis
I
courts.
would
It
add.
feels like they're my tennis courts. It does feel like we're just going down to the bottom of the garden. And it's a beautiful little tennis club. It's an old-fashioned English little pavilion. It's so pretty, like Victorian tennis club. And anyway, I walked through the tennis club, had the dog with me. I thought, go and get a coffee by the river and let the dog have a swim. And the coach was there and she said, we've had one not turn up and we've just got a 3 ladies coaching session.
Does the
Do you
dog
want
want to
to
play?
join? So
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I just ran the dog to the river, let her have a swim, and then ran back, got changed, and just did like 40 minutes on the tennis court on a like spur of the moment coaching session. It was really
Very
good fun.
nice.
Yes, so we're just loving everything that's going on at the moment, and of course we've just come back from the lovely California, which was also immensely sunny, wall to wall sunshine the whole time we were there. It was
Well,
beautiful.
I did Miami for the week before as well, so I
And you
want
did
to.
Miami the week before. So
Yeah.
we were super busy. How was Mama Taylor's birthday last night?
Yeah, it was very nice. So it was very nice. I think we were all really glad it was over. So like that sounds awful. Let me
That does
explain.
sound awful.
So Friday last week, it was my nephew's birthday. Saturday, we had my nephew's birthday party with all his friends, and it was my sister-in-law's birthday. Then in the evening, it was one of my good friends from tennis's 30th birthday. Then on Sunday, it was Mother's Day.
It was.
And then on Monday, it was my mum's birthday.
Bloody hell.
So it's been a weekend of like birthdays, Mother's Day, parties, cake. Like I just don't want any more
Bit
birthdays.
tired today.
Yeah, and Gia woke up at 4:30 this morning.
Oh, well, that'll be it. That'll do
So
it.
that's a combination of all of the above leads to the bags under the eyes. But
Yeah.
but I'm alive and kicking, so we're good. It was very nice, thank you. But yeah, please no one have another birthday in the
No
next.
more
Just
birthdays.
have
No.
a few weeks off birthdays.
Our members have been busy too, haven't they? It's
Yeah, he's
all
really
going
busy.
on.
Like I know, I think we said on some past podcasts that the conversation seemed really positive in the new year, and people had a really good vibe, and they were seeing green shoots and things were picking up, and I feel like they're starting to realize all of
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah, it so is. So I don't know who this is
This is
actually.
Alan,
Alan.
from Melbourne. Yeah.
And he says, hi all, happy Friday. I'm from a contracts background, so interim recruitment. And I've pretty much winged any previous retainers one. I mean, that's the same old story. Quite often we hear that, don't we? I've just won my first retainer with a company of less than 200 people. I'm under NDA, so the short story is I've sold them a 3-month interim management solution. Nice. To replace the incumbent and give me time and space to do a proper search for the long-term replacement. So I get to help the client twice. Thanks so much to everyone for the advice and support since I joined. Still lots to do, but so happy with the outcome. Have a great weekend. And it's titled First Retainer Since Joining the Course. So
That's a
nice.
proper project, that, isn't it? Really
It's
nice.
lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice solution.
Mm.
This is short and sweet. Um, yeah, yeah. This is a call I had yesterday. I just helped her with a project and she's come back. Thank you, Lou. You and this are fantastic. Emma's put this in
For those of
for
you
us
that
to
don't
share.
know, my weekend name is this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You and this are
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
I was sharing some materials with her that actually, incidentally, we were sharing in Los Angeles, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what happened at the Mastery um, in-person event shortly. So she was thanking me for that. Okay, a
It's
heartfelt
one of the
thank
nicest
you.
emails
It is one of the
I've
nicest emails we've
received.
ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, you read it out, George.
It says, Hi, Lou, Jordan, and Claire. I wanted to take a moment to formally thank you for the incredible journey over the past 18 months with the Retrain Search Foundations course. When I first met Jordan, I wasn't sure if this was the right time to embark on this path. I was just months away from having a baby. By that point, I had already devoured all of your free content and had successfully converted our main client to retained work. Deep down, I knew this was the direction I wanted for my company, but I had no idea how to steer the business in that direction until your training appeared out of nowhere.
Out of
Thank you.
nowhere. If only it had just appeared out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah. I'm really proud of what I've achieved. Our business is now 100% retained. There's no
Oh,
turning back to contingent work. All of our new templates, automations, SOPs are done. That's it. I've converted our two biggest clients to retained. One of them had been burned in the past and swore never to go retained again until we demonstrated the value of the methodology. Now they wouldn't have it any other way.
it's giving me
I've,
goosebumps, that.
I know I've onboarded three new clients, all on retained searches from day one. One of them was strictly against it at first, and this during countless emails and our first three meetings. Today, they were telling me how much they appreciate our philosophy. I wanted to share a bit of my journey without you knowing you've been a huge part of so much change and growth for me, both in business and personally. A huge warm thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
makes me emotional.
that's from
It's
Emily
so
out in
nice.
Australia. It is.
I had a call yesterday with Alan
Nielsen.
Nielsen, and he's done the foundation course, and I haven't seen him for, I don't know, about a year probably since he's been doing the training. He's been busy with you. You've been working your magic.
Mm,
And he came on the call and he just said, I just want to tell you that the training has changed my life, like my whole life. Not only am I now, I was billing 100, about 140K a year. He's an independent, like his own business. Uh, and it was all contingent and it was an absolute ball ache to even bill that because I had to work on
mm.
three times the amount of staff to get just to get that. And but now this past year, since doing the course, I'm 100% retained and he's doubled his revenue. He's done like 300K this year just from doing the course. He's absolutely over the moon.
No, I mean, I appreciate people shouting out the course and, well, listen, I've done it. It
He's done
changed
it
my life.
himself, hasn't he?
But it's the move to retained that
It
changes the
is,
life.
it is, yeah, it's true. This one's viral post alert. I haven't seen this one. We've been following Sarah Chester Nelson and Aaron's teachings, implementing testing and refining, and boom, in capital letters. One of our posts just exploded with engagement. 43,483 views, 62 likes, and 8 comments. The whole works. That's really nice. Really,
Yeah. See, the
really
only way
nice.
I ever get any engagement like that is when I post a picture of Gia.
Oh, really? It's
Oh,
not when
yeah.
you put your Cuban collars on and get
Sometimes,
your
yeah, but the pictures of
chest
Gia,
out.
yeah, people
That
would
one of you
say that
popping your buttons open with your shirt did quite
that did
well.
well. Yeah, that did well. Yeah.
That
I don't know
sounds
whether
really
LinkedIn had
weird.
removed that now for,
They probably
nudity.
have. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. For anyone that doesn't know, it's not a weird, inappropriate reference. Jordan and I were doing meetings in Australia, and he had this shirt on, whereas if he just leant back a little bit, all the buttons just popped open, and I
It's
thought it
something to
was
do with the size of a
hilarious.
muscle, something to do with the size of a
Yeah,
muscles,
that's it.
apparently.
I did
Yeah.
a little video on it because I thought it was so funny, and we ended up posting it on LinkedIn. Very funny. Anyway, second retainer secured and database tracking for retained searches question. Oh, hi everyone. Happy to report I just secured my second retainer. Thank you, Claire Brevitt, Jordan Taylor, and Louise Archer. And I'm feeling good about retained searches for our firm for 2025. And it's cropped, but there must have been a question on there too,
No, it
which of
wasn't. It was
course,
just her colleague. We've just grayed the name out in case they didn't want us to share it.
all right. Um, Oh, this is a comment on one of our posts, I think. Louise and the team nail this like no one else can. If you want to fall back in love with recruitment, spend the money, take this course, and love what you do. No way. Who is that? Oh, I know who that was. Oh, that's so nice. He's right, though. He's right. You do fall back in love with it. Oh, there's a couple more
This
here.
is right. This is Ryan in Japan. So Ryan said, "I've been a bit quiet lately, but I've got some great news to share. 6 months ago, I posted about how business development felt like it was taking me longer than others. I had to remind myself that everyone has their own journey. Fast forward to today, and I can say that last year I barely hit my target. I think it's
Oh,
102%.
he's
Six
bloody good as
this
well.
year, I've reached my full yearly target. Of course, it's not all about me, but the advice, the tools, and the also golden rules I received through this course, as well as colleagues involved in search projects who have embraced my asking them to adhere to new processes and principles.
Mm.
Thank you, Lou, Jordan, Sarah, Claire, and Harriet, for all of your support and leadership in this community. I wouldn't be writing this without your inspiration. I'm
Oh,
excited. Next.
oh, I love Ryan.
Yes, well, Lou, you're like, I feel like you're close to tears. Yeah.
It's so nice. Like it just makes me emotional. You know, I'm always close to tears, George.
Yeah.
Multi-hire retainer. This is Tom. Had a nice win last week. 2 hires on retainer with shortlist and hiring milestones. Not revolutionary, but here are a few things that went well. And this is one of our mastermind members posting in the foundation
I love
course,
that. Ping me
offering,
if you've got any questions on any of it.
off,
Like,
yeah, offering
yeah.
to share his advice. And yeah, he says, ping me if you have any questions. First bullet point, he says milestones. I put particular emphasis on explaining milestone payments, why they are the best solution and partnership. I believe they agreed to retain search because they felt more confident they were paying for results instead of paying for our time. I like that. Second bullet point is capacity. Made the point throughout the process to communicating that we were available, have capacity, and want their business. The echoes of Louise Archer saying, I'm confident in my mind. It's so funny. People often say that to me. I've got your voice in the back of my head. And people say that about you as well. Like I've got Jordan on my shoulder. Multi-hire, these are unique roles on different teams, but HR got really interested when I suggested we use one agreement. No need to sign, no need to put HR and legal through 2 sets of agreements or terms. So we commit to executing both searches in one statement of work and gave HR what they needed to get internal buy-in. Love that. And the last bullet point is flat fees for the win. Client asked for a reduction in fees. I said no in brackets and was hung up on the amount of money going out of the door for the retainer and the first milestone. We were close to stuck, he says in inverted commas. So I suggested a flat retainer and a flat first milestone that were a little less than the typical third of total fees, whilst leaving the total fee percentage unchanged. And it worked for both of us. The client did not get a discount, but it felt that way because they were paying a little less at the front end. And we secured the contract and kept our MSA, a master service agreement, intact. We kicked off Search 1 last week and Search 2 this Wednesday. Oh, that's so lovely. Really lovely. And last one, more retainers one. It's titled, oh, this is Vinco, isn't
Hmm.
it? Go on, you
Yeah.
read it, George.
Yeah. So he said after winning a few retainers, I saw what I was doing wrong, cutting corners. I may or may not have given Vinco a little bit of a kick in the ass
Did you did you
on
give him
on a collab
bollocking?
call and jumped on a collab call where Jordan Taylor did his expert steering and helped them,
Steering is called it. Yeah,
which
good.
enabled me to finish the retainers. Thanks to Mill. From there, I stuck to the process and secured a BD manager for a French company in Croatia, new client, a sales manager for a Croatian company, new client, and multi-hire retainers for a hospitality company in Marbella and Sweden with an existing client. All signed, sealed, and commencement fees paid. All processes will be done by the book this time. Right now, we're doing about 35 to 40% retained work, with the rest contingent with existing clients. But going forward, all new clients will be retained. Otherwise, they can try their luck elsewhere.
Love that.
Yeah,
I
it's great.
love that. So if for anyone listening that's thinking, oh, I'm in a location where, retained isn't done or it won't work in my location, if it'll work in bloody Croatia and Marbella and Sweden, then it'll fucking work wherever you are. I can guarantee it. So
Yeah, and Vinko does
remove
retain
that as a
on
barrier.
like he does everything from like sales directors down to like chefs and waitresses in big
Yeah.
whole groups,
Yeah.
all retained.
I
So
saw a
like,
question actually. I don't know if they've answered it. It might have been in my LinkedIn box about, if it's like 30K, is that too low? No, basically no. Doesn't matter what level it is. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't matter where the fuck it is. Doesn't matter what level it is. So, sorry for swearing.
Amen.
Hopefully, someone
Amen
will
to
beep
that.
that out. Amen. Uh, I wanted to share as well what we've been helping people with, and what I really wanted to kind of bring to the audience today was some of the tips and advice and some of the things that came up at our in-person session in LA, because there was so much shared and so much of it is really useful. And so I thought we'd do that if that's okay with you, George.
Yeah, as long as Jess Biller sessions included.
Mm,
Oh,
it was
how so.
amazing.
Mm. I like I see everything I do in life differently now.
Yeah, I do. You know, he said once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Mm.
Yeah, so for those of you listening, Jess Biller is a certified behavioral scientist. And he is also a mastermind member. And having spent years studying and practicing as a behavioral psychologist, basically, and providing behavioral assessments and consultancy to clients, his clients started to ask him because he was often brought into recruitment processes to refine the profile they needed for a position and then support with the interview process of getting the right fit for the position. He was so successful at that, clients started to ask him, could they help him actually find the people as well, which is where his search firm came from. And then he joined us because he had no experience in recruitment. He'd only ever. Are you enjoying this so far? Don't miss a single episode. Hit the subscribe button right now so you can be part of the conversation that's shaping the future of recruitment. So we dive really deep into the strategies, the stories, and the truth about retained search. So if you want to hear more about it, or you know someone else that needs to hear this, then share it with them. Right, let's get back to the good stuff. Been consulting, and so he wanted to go through the foundation course and know exactly what a recruitment research process needed to look like, but very quickly in the mastermind group. And he helps us now understand behavior, doesn't he? Like he kind of gives back to the community. And he did a session in LA on how to understand and interpret disc profiling. And I don't know about you, George, but I've been disc profiled about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times in my career,
Make
probably.
up of you're older than me, Liv.
Well, there was no need for that. What did I do to deserve that? But yes, it's true. I am older than you. Um, and I've never really understood them. And I look at the profiles and I think, don't really know what that means. You know, it's a graph. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it's a
Yeah.
bit different. Well, don't really know what it means. Some of you listening to it will know what it means. Jess basically walked us through what high D means, what high I means. It always makes me laugh, the high D, you going, it's just basically means I'm a dick. But it
Yeah.
doesn't. You're not a dick.
Not a dick.
You're
You
not a
can
dick,
be a
but you
dick.
are a
But
high D. You can be a dick, but not very often. I'd say mostly. Like Emily says, you need a husband like Jordan. Your next husband needs to be like Jordan, basically. I'm like, it can't be Jordan. Though. You understand that? Yes, I understand that. Great. So there you go. You're a great
thank
guy.
you. Well, thank you.
But yes, also high D and high I, and with a zero S and C. And I would never really have known what that meant.
No.
And now I do.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So I was always my attitude to any sort of psychometric was always like just stay clear. If I can, stay clear. I lose control of the process. No one really understands it. And actually, after that session with Jess, I think if I was going to hire for my team, I'd probably want them to go through an assessment like
I
that.
definitely want an
But
assessment.
as long as it can be interpreted in the right way and by the right person and with the
Yeah.
right. So yeah, he's
So it's
certainly.
funny because he got all of the people that came to LA to do the assessment and he assessed all of us and we all sat there and looked at our reports in front of us. And then he walked us through explaining what it all meant and who and had us put our hands up if we fell into this category and that category. And looking around the room, we were like, oh my God, I'm just like you and Gemma and Tara and Jess and
Do you know what my favorite bit was?
Corey,
When he
and we're
went
all the
through like
same.
the example emails of the different profiles.
Oh yeah, I loved
And it was
that.
like if there's a team meeting next week, the high D, which is me, the email will be team meeting Tuesday next week, 3 p.m.
Or the Princess Broken was the one that made me laugh the most. It was
Yeah.
like the High Eyes, who was Claire, and I forget who else was High Eye in
That's
the room.
like interpersonal skills, like to communicate.
Influence, it stands for influence.
Yeah.
So it's like it like feeds off engagement with people. And their email, if the print is broken, is like, hi there. My relationship with the print is broken down. I'm sure that we can make friends again, but I need some help understanding what the issue might be. Just wondered if you could help me to, like reconfigure our relationship or something like that. It was all like relationship driven, full of emojis as well, like the email. And then the high S, which I am, which is like supporting, was like, and I'm a helper, and I don't want to trouble you. I don't want to put people out, but I want to help them, and I want to, provide support. And mine's like, so sorry to bother you. If it's not too much trouble, when it fits in with you, I'd be really grateful if you could possibly take a look at the printer because it doesn't seem, and that's like exactly what I'm like, exactly what I'm like. And George, the high D, was like, the fucking printer's broken.
I need it fixing now.
Fix it. It was so funny because you're so direct.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking made me laugh so much. Anyway, so what he did is helped us to interpret and work out people's styles from emails, from phone calls, from like voicemails, and so that we can start to figure out and use because the other thing that I really loved what he said is we can't change the way our communication is received. We can only change the way we give it.
Yeah.
So by identifying your prospects, your clients, your candidates' style, you can then communicate them with them in a way that they will receive better, they will receive well. And so I just feel so much more prepared now to be able to like look at or understand an email or the style of someone and know then how to close them, how they want to be sold to, whether they need facts and figures like the high C, whether they need to know who they're going to be working with, the high I, where they just need to the point, direct, no bullshit, close. This is what it's going to do for you, like the high Ds. It's so helpful. It was just absolutely epic. And he's doing another session for us in September in Richmond, which I can't wait for because it's like
Yeah. It was
the
so good.
next stage. So what else have I got time within the parameters of this to share? Yeah, I don't know whether we've got time for this, but I'll have a go. Some of our very advanced mastermind members were sharing the business development approaches that are working for them right now. And there was a theme. There's obviously pockets of different angles and different areas of expertise from the nature of the services and the way in which they provide those services. But the essence of it all was similar, and that was that it's all about adding value and it's all about bringing help and experience and offering to support rather than going for the sale. And that the sale was an output or a symptom, a byproduct almost
Mm.
of this providing value and offering support for the people that are doing it really well, especially at the highest levels. And that a few in the room had got this process going really nicely where they're taking the raw data around what their clients' objectives and the challenges they're facing achieving those objectives, either growing their business, delivering projects, providing shareholder value. So their main commercial
Yeah.
objectives and understanding the challenges that are stopping them or hindering them from actually achieving their commercial objectives, and then providing help directly for those things like connecting them with people that have got that going well or running round
Mhm.
tables for how to solve employment law challenges in a specific state in the
Mm.
US where it's heavily unionized or for HR for example, and then angling it per customer
Mm.
segment and then using artificial intelligence to take the analysis and take the transcripts of calls that they've had with clients where those symptoms and those problems have come up and feeding that bespoke prompt, ChatGPT prompt, with more information on the empathy maps for the client, the segmentation charts, and ChatGPT getting really good at creating specific content, LinkedIn posts, white papers, blogs, emails that are video scripts that are getting the highest engagement because it's all focused around their pain, but it's all sustainable as part, and they've got it built as part of a process now. One of the others that we had a call with this week are doing something similar with their search work. So every search project that they do, they're putting all their data into, again, a custom built ChatGPT prompt. All the data they collect on the talent pool, the comp, bends, the perception of businesses in the market, the employers of choice and why. And it's compiling that data and producing studies, white papers, content to then be able to share with future prospects. So it's a really nice process. So there's someone in the business that's tasked with taking all the information from the search and putting it in and then producing reports and content
Mhm.
from every single search project. So it's like this, well, it's a bit like us, isn't it? We've got the same sort of model where, we acquire a client, we work with a new client, we get them really happy with where they are, they're winning retainers, and then they tell us about it, and we then share those stories and we share how they've done it, and that
Yeah.
then means that we acquire more clients. So it's exactly like that. It's
Yeah.
having this constant process of business development intertwined with execution, basically,
Mhm.
as well as the client calls and the client problems, then feeding your content machine. It's all very, very nice. And everyone's got it to different degrees. I don't want that to sound daunting for people. Some people are just starting out and we're just on the first journey and they have their first
Yeah.
call with Sarah and she starts to break it down with them and just take the first step. And yeah, it's really, I mean, I could go on all day because I've got pages and pages of notes and we did videos on each one and we've got clips of it all and all the materials that were shared and it's all gone in the mastery group for people to digest. Um,
It was a
Did
great few
anything?
days.
It was a great few days. Did anything stick out for you? But mainly Jess's session, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But do you know what? This is more of a generic takeaway, and I think I said this to you when we went to play tennis on the last day. For all the skill and the experience and the ability that's in that room, it's always pretty straightforward. Like actually, when you look at the people that are doing best, like someone shared, for example, some example of BD emails, and it was like no one's going to look at that and go, "Well, I can't do that."
No, no,
Like,
no.
like
Absolutely.
it's pretty straightforward. When someone
It's
shows
all
you how,
doable.
you go,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that."
yeah, exactly. Which
Like,
is why people come on so quickly in the mastery group, don't they?
yeah.
It's incredible how
It
well
takes the
people are
risk out of
doing.
it, doesn't it? Like, how
Yeah.
often business owners to be sitting there going, "I might try this and see if it works." Whereas actually to sit there and say, "Well, here's someone that's doing it and it's working," it just takes for me so much of the guesswork out of it that it helps people come on so quickly.
It does. Um, what do we want to leave people with from today? Do you know
Uh,
what? Oh,
Go on,
I've thought of something.
go
Well,
on, you go.
it was something that Alan said actually, only because it's fresh in my mind, because I just had a call with him. And he said, you said something to me on the very first call that we had that made me want to start this journey. And I'm so grateful that you did say it because it had such a massive impact on me. And it's that one sentence almost is what's meant that my life has changed for the better, overwhelmingly for the better.
If you don't do it, you're an idiot.
I didn't say that,
No, all right, okay, sorry.
but it was kind of similar. Apparently, I said to him, "Do whatever you want to do, Alan. Like it's completely up to you because we have a very no pressure approach. Like this is entirely up to you. If you want to carry on
Yeah.
doing what you're doing, carry on doing it. We don't mind. If you do think that you might want to do this, then we'd like to be the ones to help you." But I said to him, "Do whatever you like. It's completely up to you. If you have any questions, let me know. But just don't get left behind." And he said it was that sentence. It was that a realization that I'm going to get left behind if I don't. I've been doing the same thing for years and years and years and years, and I'm going to stagnate. And that's why I did it. What are you laughing at?
There it is again. There's the Jess Biller session. You're the high I. Do whatever you want. It doesn't like it's up to
No,
you.
that's
It's your
S. That's
decision. That's
S.
the S. Sorry, high S.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then me. If you don't do it, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I do.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's very good. Every day in our WhatsApp group, you can tell the difference between Claire and me and you. Me going, sorry to bother you. If anyone has a moment, please could you? Claire going, hi folks, hope everyone's having a lovely day. I've been doing this today. And Jordan going, yeah, running late. So funny. Well, that's all we've got time for today. So it's been wonderful
Pleasure as
to
always.
have you with us, and we've got some really lovely, juicy guests coming up because I've been lining up some of our
We have
mastermind members to come and share some of their senior executive search wizardry with you
mm,
all.
wizardry.
Yeah, I've just been booking Clark Waterfall in. He is going to be an absolute treat.
He
So,
is. He is.
yeah, stay
Um,
tuned.
One thing I want to add, just because it's top of
Oh,
my mind, for
go
any of
on.
our listeners in Australia who are regular listeners, you may have seen the episode with David Wolstenholme. You may have seen the episode with Sophie in Australia about
Mm,
recruitment. We may or may not, wink, wink, be coming to Sydney in September and
yes.
running an event with our esteemed colleagues and
Yes, we're
friends.
going to run an in-person series of masterclasses in person, which is so good. We've done it before. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really good shout. Well, there's a second shout out really as well, isn't there? Because we're running a session for those in Japan next
Yes.
week.
Next week.
So there's some two real life stories we're bringing you. We get so many misconceptions about Japan. I get so many people saying, "Oh, it just won't work in this market," or, "It's too difficult, it's too hard. You don't want to be taking retainers in this
Mm,
market," and it is absolutely not true.
correct.
Because we've got people absolutely flying with it in Japan, but they've made a massive change. Like they were all contingent, they didn't think it was going to work either, and so we've invited them onto a session with us to tell their story,
Yeah.
and so you can have a listen to it and hear how they've done it, and they're going to share as much advice as they can for those of you in Japan that want to do it too.
I'm just going to learn what the Japanese word for lies is. And every time anyone tells me that retained won't work in Japan, I'm just going to shout lies in Japanese. What I'm going to do.
I mean, you could soften it a bit, maybe put a bit of
Yeah.
S in there,
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
hope
Okay.
you don't mind me saying, but that's not true,
So that's
rather
what I
than
do now. I
lies.
said this last week. I always, any important email, I copy and paste into ChatGPT and say, can you make sure this couldn't be deemed as passive aggressive?
Oh,
Because it's
do
not passive
you?
aggressive. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's
It
hilarious.
normally
Ah,
softens it a little bit. And I go, oh,
does
thank
it?
God for that. Yeah. 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 A little bit.
Good
Yeah.
job. Yeah, you be you. We don't mind. We like it.
Yeah.
And
Good.
that's the same for you, lovely listeners. You be you. And we're here for you if you need us. Love you loads.
Cool. Thanks, Lou. See you soon.
Bye. Well, that's another episode of Retrain Search, the podcast in the bag. Thanks for listening to our wild tales, LinkedIn controversies, and our top tips on how to sell and deliver retained search. Get involved in our next episode. Send in your questions and share your experiences with us by emailing podcast@retrainedsearch.com. And don't be shy. Connect with us on LinkedIn and come and say hi. We don't bite. Unless you're a Shrek firm, that is. We want to say a special thank you to our retrained members for sharing what's working for them right now and innovating new ways to grow and evolve. It's an incredible community. If you're wondering what exactly we mean when we mention our communities, well, we have two separate programs. Our Search Foundations program is for recruiters who want to learn how to sell and deliver retained search solutions consistently. And we have our Search Mastery program. That's for business leaders or owners already at 50% retained or more and looking to scale and grow and structure their search firm. We cap memberships to these programs to protect the integrity of the community. If you want access, just talk to us. Okay, thanks for listening. We'll be back very soon with another episode of Retrain Search, the podcast.